Hi guys, hope you had a good start to the week. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at the different types of milk you can use with your Aeroccino milk frother. When I first started doing these videos, I've been learning so much about Nespresso all the way. And I noticed that when I used semi-skim milk in my Aeroccino 3, which I had at the time, it didn't froth up quite as much as I would have liked it to. And then I discovered that whole milk really frothed up so much more than the semi-skimmed. But then I remember a commenter saying that they think skim milk foamed up the best. So I just thought today, we should just do a comparison of the three. Now what I've done, I've washed out the Aeroccino from last use and I've run cold water through it just to drag the temperature down. And I'm going to do the same in between each one. So when I've finished testing one milk, I'll wash the Aeroccino out and I'll drag the temperature down by running cold water through so it's the same each time. And I've also dried out thoroughly as well, so there's no water getting mixed in with the milk. I just thought it'd be a really good test to do, just to see and settle final once and for all which milk's best. And there are some differences that I've noticed between them. And if you like the look of the Aeroccino 4 as well, and you don't have one, there's going to be a little bonus video at the end, just to show you a feature on that and to show you what it does. But anyway, let's get started. And I think we'll start with the bog standard, what a lot of people use, semi-skim milk. I'm going to start there because personally I've noticed that there's a big difference in form from this to both of these two, in texture and in the consistency of the foam, unless they're the same thing, I don't know. They might be the same thing. But anyway, this is semi-skim milk. I'll just let you have a look inside the Aeroccino here. Make sure I get the lid on properly. If you have a look inside, I've just put it roughly to the middle of that dot, or maybe just underneath. That's what I usually do. I like it to that level, but I use the extra froth setting usually. But I'm just going to use, because I think that this normal froth setting will correlate to the Aeroccino 3 as well. A little bit of dust. To the Aeroccino 3 as well. I'll go with that setting so that it gives you all a good idea, not just those with the extra froth setting as well. So let's set it off now. We'll let that run and see how it goes. And I really just think that this will be a good video to settle it final once and for all, which is the best milk. But everyone has their own opinion and everyone likes different textures and consistencies, don't they? So if you have a preferred milk that you like to use after trying the different ones out, leave a comment below and let us know which one it is. In fact, I'll also include a poll above now because they're quite useful, aren't they, for people who are watching the video. And I'll put the three options on and you can select which you think is best. And then we'll get a broader view. It's not just my opinion, it's everyone's opinion then. Now this takes about a minute to do. I'll pour it out straight away because that's important when you're using your milk frother, to get the foam out straight away because it quickly starts to go down to like normal milk again. In fact, that might be a good test to do it. Well, I don't know. Do that another day where we see how quickly the milk actually goes back to being milk again or stays as froth between these three milks. I'll do it in real time just so you know I'm not cheating. We've been using the barista maker as well, what we unboxed yesterday. I'll link to that above now in case you're interested in looking at that. It's been an interesting experience so far. I'm yet to find the actual button what you would just use for froth milk though. I know that they do a hot milk setting, but it didn't seem that frothy. But when we did we made one of the recipes with skim milk where it tells you to like cool it down in between and put skim milk in, the foam really did come out really thick and creamy then. Let's see the consistency of this. Just pour it in there. See, that's still quite milky, isn't it? And then you pour it out and there's just a little bit of foam usually drops out on top. I hope you can see that clearly. Hope the lighting's good enough because it is night time. You can see it's quite milky underneath. If we just get down low, you can see it's quite milky underneath with just a little bit of foam. Tap it, a little bit of foam on top. So we'll go back now and I'll just pause the video now. I'll wash out the Aeroccino, drag the temperature down, clean it out thoroughly, dry it thoroughly, and we'll see what the skim milk does. Right, so I've washed out the Aeroccino, brought the temperature down, dried it out thoroughly. This milk's been sat there, that was a semi-skim milk, been sat there for a couple of minutes now, and it still looks pretty similar, to be fair. Bit of foam on top, and then milk underneath. So I'll take this away now, and we'll move on to the skim milk. Now what we've noticed, myself specifically, is the texture of the milk with the skim milk is completely different. I'm going to put the same amount in, as nearly as I can anyway, you know, I've not measured it out completely, but again, if you have a look inside, it's roughly to the halfway up or slightly underneath the black dot. Lid's on properly. And again, the reason I'm using I'll set it going. The reason I'm using that normal setting is just because when I noticed the difference between the semi-skim milk and the froth milk, the whole milk, sorry, I was using Aeroccino 3, and it changed my experience of the Aeroccino 3. I was getting really frustrated. I thought, it's not frothing it as much as I want it to froth. But when I started using whole milk, it did, and I was quite happy with that. However, like we say, a little bonus thing in a minute for you, just to for those interested in the Aeroccino 4. I'll also link to my review of the Aeroccino 4 above now in a little card, in case you want to check that out. It'll take about a minute again. And I'll be honest, I might as well talk about it now so you can see it as it comes out. But I've found the texture of the foam to be a lot more like a whipped creamy kind of foam with the skimmed milk. And some people might prefer that, and it can be good for like spooning on top of recipes. However, when I went to pour it out when I was testing for this video, it did seem to return to milk quite quickly, but we might get an idea of that. I'll leave it in the glass again, like I did with the other one, just to see what happens to it, if it changes consistency at all in the minute or two that I'm washing out the Aeroccino for the whole milk. Shouldn't be too long now. Again, I felt it was important to do it in real time, just so you knew that I was sticking to the brief. Let's pour this one out. See, again, just really, it's not hardly foamy at all, with a little bit of foam on top. See, I thought that was going to come out really whipped, but to be honest, earlier on, we were doing it in the barista maker and it came out like whipped cream. So it shows that it is good at whipping the foam up. It does seem, yeah, it seems similar really. It's a little bit difficult to see. If we back out maybe a little bit, you might see it a little bit better. Yeah, it's just struggling to focus. But you can get the picture. We saw how the milk came out, and it was very, very like milky rather than foamy. So I'll leave that there now. Do the same again. Pause the video, and we'll come back and see if whole milk makes a difference. Right, so we're back. Aeroccino 4, washed out, temperature dragged down, dried out thoroughly. This is the other milk now after about 2 minutes, roughly. Bit of foam on top, but mostly milk underneath. So let's just give a whole milk a try now. Lose my voice a bit here. Whole milk. Again, the spring's in. I'm just going to pour it up to the same level. Maybe a touch more, and you can. I'll let you have a look in and judge it yourself. Tell me if you think I've done it right. They're never an exact science, these experiments, are they? But I do think they're useful and they're helpful. I hope you do too. Let's get that nice and secure on. Set it off, and we've got another minute to wait. Don't forget, we've got a lot of exciting videos planned. I've got the espresso cups to view, espresso cups from Nespresso to unbox, and then we're going to be doing some three-way battles between different, well, arpeggio, Intensity 9, the Verona one I think it is from Starbucks, that capsule, and the lower capsule, the purple one of that as well. So we're going to be getting those unboxed, and we can start using them and doing different videos. I'm going to be putting the Aeroccino 3 up against the Aeroccino 4, and then up against the barista maker in the same video. just to show the differences so you can get a feel for them, see which one you think you like the most. The recipe maker's been a bit of a funny one. I'm still, yeah, it's a really good unit, and we're still learning to make all the recipes, but we are planning to make a few of the recipes on there and show them to you in a video. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe and you'll be able to see that, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. So this is whole milk again now, just to remind you. Taking it away, haven't I actually bought these specially for the video. That's why these are so much more full. And this has been going down because of our barista maker. Let's see how I think whole milk's going to be the winner, but we'll see. Finished. Pour the whole milk. It's still milky, but I honestly think that that is more frothy. If you look at the difference. Still milky, but I honestly think that there's more froth on top as well, but then this one has been sat there for a bit. So now, our final little bonus test. Stick around for it. I'm going to pause the video, wash it all out again, drag the temperature down exactly the same, and I'm going to show you the extra froth setting on the Aeroccino 4. Right, so we're back for the final time. This is the, what was it again? Whole milk. This was the whole milk. Just settled down for a couple of minutes. Aeroccino washed out, dried out, brought down to temperature. And I'm now going to go with plain semi-skim milk on the extra froth setting on the Aeroccino 4. And I'm hoping it's going to work, as it usually does. And if this doesn't, I may put the tiniest bit more milk in there, the tiniest bit. I'll tell you what, keep it fair, I'm going to pour the tiniest bit out. Because I want you to be, if this doesn't convince you to buy an Aeroccino 4, I'm not trying to convince you, you can buy what you want, but if this doesn't convince you, nothing will. So set it off now, extra froth setting. If we just have a look inside, what's going on. When I bought my Aeroccino 4 and I used the extra froth setting, it blew me away, and I just thought that's what I've been looking for. But you might not like really frothy milk. My wife, she uses a virtual machine because she finds really frothy milk, it upsets her stomach a little bit. But I love it. As you can see, it's really whipping it up inside there. I'm hoping, having used it 4 times, like I said, I've dragged that temperature down, but I'm hoping using it 3 or 4 times beforehand isn't going to ruin the effect here. It's interesting as well. Leave a few comments. What are you looking for from a milk frother? Are you wanting loads to be able to make loads of recipes? Do you want loads of froth? Do you want heat? What's your most important factor in a milk frother? Let us know in the comments below. Nearly finished now. It's going to overflow if I'm not careful. I probably should have done this in a separate video, but it's just a little bonus for you. Please don't overflow. Not too much longer now. It takes a little bit longer with the extra froth. Right. Let's get this poured out. Hopefully it'll pick up. Look how creamy and foamy that is. I hope you can see it. It might be time to invest in a bit of a better camera, but look how much higher it's come up. Same amount of milk. Semi-skim milk, not even whole milk. And look how much higher it's come up, because it's so much more foamy. Just have a look at it, nice and low. And that is the difference between an Aeroccino 3 and an Aeroccino 4. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. I get asked that question so much about the Aeroccino 4. Is it worth an extra £10? What's the difference between the Aeroccino 3 and 4? So I hope that's shown it a little bit. Also shown the different types of milk, which one's best. I prefer whole. Which do you prefer? But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Like the video if you've liked it. Share it. And also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.